Hey, what's going on? We're about to pull into Cloyne, Ontario for the Cloyne XC race for Off-Road Ontario, and I love this race. I absolutely love it. It's a doubleheader this weekend. We'll see if I race both. I'm not sure. I'm signed up for both right now, but I'm thinking I may only do one, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we're about to pull in. Let's get right to it. Let's not stand on ceremony, and let's see what everybody's up to this morning. Shotgun start. So Saturday's going to be a shotgun start. I'm pretty pumped about this. We'll see how it goes. I'm racing expert class. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I may have upclassed myself a bit too much, but when it comes to other Off-Road Ontario events, I like to be in a class that does all of the test sections like the Corduroy Enduro. So that's where I am, and I didn't do too bad in Sudbury. Sudbury was pretty good. It was definitely in kind of the top third. So, I mean, if I can put performance and, you know, if I can perform like that, I'd be pretty happy. So, you know, kind of top half of my class or, you know, top third of my class would be absolutely amazing all the time. I just want to be competitive. Turned 40 this year, so racing against... quite literally, and I don't use the term kids lightly, but quite literally against you know, young guns half my age. So anyway, yeah, see how it goes.
Alright, so here we go. This is the pro lineup in front of me on Saturday's race. I'm in the expert lineup. We're going to be the second ones to get out on the track. The pros are just getting warmed up. You heard me say in my intro that I was hoping to finish, you know, top third or something, you know, top half in my class. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. It was certainly top third overall for the whole day. I was in the top 30 riders out of 170 plus riders. So I was happy with that. As far as the expert race went, I think I came 12th in expert. There was some time adjustments, but anyway, I came across the line in 11th, and I saw that it was adjusted to 12th later on. So this was weird. We moved up here. This typically doesn't happen. Usually you just start from your line, but everybody started to move up, and you can see everybody's looking at each other like, what is going on? So we moved up. I have a difficult time starting most of the time. The bike starts really quick. The Beta is one of those bikes that it basically starts when you think about starting it. So it's not the bike, it's definitely my start. There's Carl, takes off, and he's in the top three right from the beginning. Great start by him, one of my buddies from Quebec. We've ridden a few races together, and he is a much more talented rider than I am. This is, they funneled us in here. This was interesting. So it was only, you know, maybe 100 meters or so. It didn't seem very far for that first kind of starting position. And then a lot of races usually you funnel into a turn. This one we actually funneled right into single track. Through the entire video, you're going to notice that this track was extremely bumpy, and the footage isn't going to really do it a whole lot of justice. This was absolutely torturous, generally, especially for a 2.5, 3+ hour race. Very, very bumpy, but I mean, it's great trails. They're awesome trails. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that, you know, from a racing perspective, it's really, really bumpy. So I don't know what place I'm in here right now, but you can see that this expert class generally keeps the speed up pretty good. I'm holding my own, I feel like, at this point. And I'm pretty happy with how it's going, and that's really what I wanted to achieve. So I start to breathe heavy almost right off the bat. This is something that I continue to struggle with, let's say, is, you know, really settling in nice and early. I find, you know, you're so amped up at the beginning that it's a little bit difficult to stay calm, cool, and collected, and get on the trail. So I'm pretty amped up, trying to keep up with everybody in front of me. And you know, it gets pretty dicey here. You can see tires slipping everywhere. It was a little bit, you know, it was a little bit wet. The rocks were a little bit wet. You know, the trail was some of it was brand new. Some of it typically isn't raced on. But no, it was good. It was really good riding. It was a whole lot of fun. So we're just kind of in a train here, moving along. Everybody's kind of holding pace together in the expert class. The front runners in the expert class are starting to pull away already, from what I can tell. But I think, you know, there was a whole group of us that were very similar, at least initially, in our, you know, approach and what we were going to do. So there wasn't a whole lot of rev bombing and stuff going on. There is one or two people, I think, feeling like they're being held back who maybe didn't get great starts. It's going to be coming up here shortly. There's a pretty aggressive pass that's made. You know, I don't really worry about it a whole lot because really that's racing. So right here, so I try to come in through the side here because this guy stalled out in front of me and I thought I could get around him, and I couldn't, and then I wanted to get around him again, and boom. So that's a pretty aggressive pass, I would argue. Now, you know, I know it's expert class, so it is what it is. And then he almost falls off his bike right afterwards, which isn't that always the case when it's you who also makes a great pass and you feel like you're kind of king, and then all of a sudden you come off the bike? But he was obviously frustrated and faster than a few of us up there, so he made the pass when he saw the opportunity. So it's all good, but racers don't hurt each other. That's not what we want to do. So anyways, yeah, we kind of settled back into it. Listen, I usually do for my videos kind of a full lap of the races, but this lap was 19 kilometers long. It was very long, and there's no way I was going to show the entire 19 kilometers. Just one lap would be, you know, the video would be close to an hour long, and nobody's going to sit through and watch that. So I've just cut in a few highlights, you know, show you some of the speedy sections. Like, I find for single track, some of this was really fast. We're moving pretty good. And then there's some really kind of tight technical stuff as well. There was a couple of, you know, really close trees. We were warned about it in the beginning, where your handlebars are basically touching on both sides, and there was at least 3 or 4 of those. But yeah, some of it was really fast, and we were moving, and I felt good. And I think that's really important to consider. This is my 3rd year racing. I went from novice to intermediate B, and now I'm racing in the expert class. Now, I was promoted from novice into intermediate B. I was not promoted into expert, but I jumped up into expert for the corduroy last year because I wanted to run red plate, and I did actually quite well at the corduroy, all things considered. I have a video out there for that. And I stuck with expert class for this season, although I haven't raced a whole lot of OO stuff, so it is what it is. But I'm generally happy to be competitive, and I'm certainly happy to be in, you know, the top, you know, half, let's call it, of the afternoon class. And I personally feel like it's a good accomplishment, and I try not to get down on myself because after this race I was a bit disappointed in my performance, but you know, in retrospect, it is what it is, and I'm having a lot of fun. So I keep getting better, exponentially better, I would argue, kind of year after year. So I'm going to kind of keep it up. Next year I'll be in the vet classes, so I'm hoping to jump into vet expert, I think, would be the logical next step. I'll be competitive there. I certainly won't win that class, but I'll be competitive in vet expert. And then I think, you know, as far as my riding years are concerned, I can stay in vet expert for a number of years, which would be great because then I won't have to change numbers, and I can actually go firm on a number and keep it for more than 1 year. So that'll be cool. I can put decals on my bikes. I didn't put any decals on my bikes this year because I didn't want to spend money. I mean, it's as simple as that, changing numbers all the time and in the different race series. So we'll see what vet expert holds next year. So I mean, that's about it. This video, I'm trying to keep it short. I'm trying to keep it. I think this one's going to be around 15 minutes, with a couple of, you know, a little bit of footage cut in here and there, and really just to kind of show you what it looked like on Saturday. Again, shotgun start. So what I won't be able to show you is towards the end of the race, on lap 3 for me. coming into some of the big bottlenecks and some of the lapping that was taking place with some of the morning classes, and unfortunately that slowed my third lap down quite a bit. But I mean, I was in the running and I didn't lose or gain any positions on lap 3. I basically just kind of held steady, but definitely it was a challenging course. It was certainly challenging for morning classes. It was challenging for afternoon classes, not necessarily from like a technical riding capability is concerned, but it just beat you up. It was relentless. I was super sore. For those of you who raced both days, congratulations for even racing and finishing both days, and for those of you who did well after 2 days, even more congratulations. So Kenny Henderson for Team Beta and Expert, taking kind of P1 overall, I believe. I think he finished 4th on this day and 1st on Sunday, so it's always great to see Beta riders doing great things. There's those trees, wham, smash my handlebars off of them. Anyway, so lots of nice scenery. Cloyne is great. Thanks to the Quinn and all of the volunteers who put this together. It was an absolutely fantastic race. A lot of fun. I look forward to it again next year. I think I'm going to change up my approach and tactics a little bit the next time I come here. I knew better. I was running an MX33 rear tire. I knew better than to do that. There was absolutely no reason why I couldn't have had a better tire on for this type of single track and this many rocks. I should have went with something a little bit more gummy, something made for the rocks, in my opinion anyway. I mean, just for myself, I tend to do better on a tire like that, but I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking that it was single track and that the MX33 would hook up all over the place. I thought the rear end got pretty sketchy quite a few times, kicking up over rocks and stuff, and it just wasn't holding the type of grip that I'm used to. So anyway, no big deal. We'll readjust and come back at it hard next year. I also had a clutch line come undone on lap, I want to say it was lap 2, although I might be forgetting which lap it actually was, but I think it was lap 2. My clutch line came undone in one of the more technical sections, and I mean, it literally went from having clutch to the next time I pulled it in, it went straight to the bar. And I couldn't do anything about it. And unfortunately, it was in a tricky spot to stall the bike. So even starting it, it was kind of jumping forward because I couldn't get it. So it was like shifted into neutral, start it, slam it into first, and just take off. And I finished at least half a lap like that. And then luckily, some people in the pits had an 11mm wrench, and we just tightened it up, and I pumped it back up, and I just had enough fluid to finish the rest of the race, I guess, is the way that worked out. So yeah, you know what? That's racing. That's what it is. So you got to enjoy it. You can be frustrated in the moment, I get it, but at the end of the day, this is really all for fun, and it's all a stepping stone for myself, because I think vet expert and in my 40s is going to be where I hope to make a few strides in a single class and kind of sit in that class and improve and get to know some of the people in the class and get some friendly rivalries going on, and I'm looking forward to it. So Big Iron Moto, I hope to see him out there next year in that class. So right here, this was horrible. So you see the individual who's in front of me, I don't know who it was, but he got stuck on the hill. I figure I'm going to pass him, so I take him on the left-hand side, and I shoot up this climb that looked like the trail, and it was not the trail. And it was, you can tell from the way the bike was whining, this was a legit climb. And so as I'm up here, I'm just watching riders pass, look, and they're just passing me. And so I'm super upset now. Obviously, you can tell by all the beeping that's going on. So that took a little bit of my mental game away, and I had to kind of recoup from that. If you keep watching, because I'll stop talking here in a second, if you keep watching, I do reel some people in, actually, which is also, heartening, because I do reel people, some really good riders in. I catch back up to a certain extent, and do make some passes throughout the race to get some of my positions back. So you know what, all in all, super happy with the weekend, and yeah, that's what it is. So if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out quite a bit. I got some footage ready to be edited and put out here. I'm going to review my Beta 300 and my Beta 350. I think there'll be some interesting short videos on those bikes, and we got some other things planned for this summer. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back.